I'm Larry Smith, and I'm back again to welcome you to the HorseRaceAdvantage.com Road to the Money video series. In our first video, L. Gianolis is going to cover handicapping and ranking. Now, you may also watch standalone videos by clicking at the bottom of this page that provide a short bio on L and also a testimonial by John Kreutzer, a former aerospace engineer associate of ours, who provides a background on how HorseRaceAdvantage.com got started. L will summarize at the end of the fifth video of this series the incredible offer that we have in store for you as a premium member of HorseRaceAdvantage.com. Now I'm going to turn it over to L now to get us out of the starting gate. Thank you.
Hi, I'm L. Gianolis from the Horse Race Advantage. Today I'd like to talk about handicapping and how to use our ranking information presented on our website, HorseRaceAdvantage.com, and show you how to use the ranking information and what it represents so that in the end you'll be able to come out ahead. So let's start on our road to coming out ahead. I'm showing you here a chart of 5 steps that are necessary in order for you to make your wager and make your bets to come out ahead. The first step is handicapping and ranking, that I will go into more detail in this particular video, and in subsequent videos I'll be talking about which track to bet on and how you select a race within a track, and then I'll go into a little bit about what type of bets are available to you, and then I'll go into which horses you can pick out of the races and tracks that we have identified in the previous steps, and together with a wagering strategy I will show you how you can actually come out ahead. So let's start with handicapping and ranking. HRA's definition of handicapping is picking horses that are most likely going to be in the money. You may wonder why our definition of handicapping is not picking winners. And the reason for that is because we are looking for ways to actually maximize our return on investment. And for example, if we knew of a horse that we thought was going to come in second, for sure, and of course being second means that you're not a winner, but if you knew that this horse was going to come in second, and say for example you had a race of 10 or 12 horses, then the likelihood for any of the other 10 or 12 horses, the odds on those horses may be very high. And so if you were to wheel the horse that you liked to come in second, you have a very high probability of actually making money, more so than if you just picked that second horse and bet it to place. So the wagering strategies are very important, and we are going to take you all the way to wagering strategies, but in that process there are certain things that you will have to learn in order to actually get there and make that more profitable for you.
What is HRA ranking? HRA ranking is an algorithm that we have implemented in software and that quantitatively measures a horse's racing ability, his fitness, and we also include some factors that influence the outcome of a race, such as trainer's jockey standings and his propensity for a particular track or other propensities that he may have as dictated by his pedigree. We also look at running style, and we look at some other factors. How do we determine racing ability? We look at the average lifetime earnings and the average current year earnings. Now, why do we take the average? The reason why we take average is because if we compare the average lifetime earnings with the average current year earnings, we may find that the average of the lifetime earnings is less than the average of the current year earnings. And what that indicates is that we are looking at an improving horse. And of course, if the opposite is true, then we're looking at a horse that's actually digressing. We look at the race class, and the race class, if you have a horse in stakes race, then that is obviously a better horse than a horse that's in a claiming race. We look at the speed rating, and again, if the speed rating of one horse is 85, for example, and another horse is at 50, the one with the higher speed rating is the better horse. We also look at how the horse actually finished in its last few races. If we have a horse that's always in the money, we have a very high likelihood that this horse is going to be in the money again, assuming that he's going to stay at the same level. We look at his running style, and we look at the preference that he has, with respect to tracks and distance. How do we determine his fitness? We determine his fitness based upon the currency of his races. I mean, if he has raced recently, then he's probably more fit than a horse that hasn't been racing for a while. We also take a look at how he finished in his last races and his workouts or breezes leading up to the current race. So we take a look and see how often did he breeze and how recent did he breeze. The more breezes he has, the more fit he's probably going to be. If it's been a long time, then he may not be as fit. I do caution you here that some trainers will have unofficial breezes, and so they work them, and they don't necessarily breeze them at as fast as a horse may actually be able to. So sometimes these are a little misleading. What distance is the breeze? The distance may indicate whether he is fit to actually run a particular race. For instance, if the distance was 3 furlong and he's going to be in a mile, and he hasn't been racing in mile or route races, then it's not very likely that this horse is going to be in the money. We look at the times, how fast did this breeze his work out, and we also look at the gallop out. The stronger gallop out, the better and fitter the horse is. Let's take a look at some of the factors that influence the outcome of a race. Look at the trainers and jockeys standing. Sometimes there is a trainers-jockey combo. There's some trainers that will go to a particular jockey, and they have a statistic that will say how well these trainer-jockey combos actually work out. Number of horses in a race. The more horses there are in a race, and depending upon the post position, that influences the outcome also. We also look at the condition of the track based upon weather condition. Did it rain the day before? Is the track sloppy or is it fast? Is it turf? And in addition to that, we also look at the running style of other horses in the same race, and that's because you like to know how the race will unfold. What is HRA's ranking? HRA's ranking is a unique mathematical formula that calculates a numerical value using all these factors that I talked about and maybe some other factors, and assigns that numerical value to each horse in the race. And then using those numerical values, we list the horses in the most likely order of finish. We then take the top horse and assign a percent to that top horse and all the other horses in the race, in the same race. We provide a percent so that you can see a horse's relative strength to the other horses in the same race. And that gives you some indication of how strong a particular horse is. Like, for instance, if a horse has a value of 25 and another horse has a value of 15, then the horse that has a 25 value is much stronger than a horse that's 15. And sometimes when you look at the ranking, you will find certain horses that's a big gap, where you have 25 to 15 and this 25 ranking value. It will probably indicate that that horse is much better than the other horse. So what are the ranking benefits? The ranking benefits are that you do not have to do your handicapping. We shift you to another different process that will focus you on those areas that will give you the advantage to pick those horses and wager on those horses with a wagering strategy to come out ahead. The reason why HRA's ranking is good is because it includes all those factors that you should be paying attention to, and by doing it consistently, you are not going to overlook some of them and miss out on some things that you would have found if you did this in a consistent and orderly manner. We provide the relative strength factors, so you can find out how much better one horse is than another. And in addition to that, we provide this ranking information for all horses on the major tracks in Northern America. So with the internet experience, you have a better choice and a better and quicker way to actually sift through all these horses at all the different tracks. So, but most importantly, HRA's ranking provides a platform. It's the foundation to determine which track to bet on, which race to bet on, which horses to bet on, and together with a wagering strategy, how you as our subscriber can come out ahead. So let's take a look at an example of our HRA's ranking. I'm showing you a web page on our website, Horse Race Advantage, and on the left hand side you can see the tracks that we support at any one time. In this particular case, what I want to show you is the ranking information. Okay, so in this case we show Churchill Downs on Wednesday, November 16, 2011, and we show on race 1. Okay, we show the program number and the ranking information, and so in this particular case we have ranking 20.25 for Inner Truth, 15.75 for Strawberry Quake, 11.25 for Babette's Bell. Okay, the spread is pretty big. 2025 to 1575 is 4.5 points, and then the next one is very big, and there's a couple here that are very close. But the thing to note here is that this particular horse is much better than the other ones, and the other ones, one can guess on why this is lower, and that's because this one is a first-time starter. This horse has never run in a race, and the reason and how you can tell is by the asterisk that we put behind each horse. Okay, so generally speaking, I would not bet on a race that has that many first-time starters, because the likelihood for a first-time starter to come in is very high. And those are normally the long shots. But if we were to look at the speed ratings for race 1, we find that Inner Truth ran on 10/23/2011 with a 90 speed rating at a 6 furlong. This particular race is a 6 furlong maiden, claiming purse $23,000 for 3-year-olds and up. Inner Truth also had a buyer rating of 62 on 6/24/2011. So when we look at this particular horse, he has the highest speed rating and the highest buyer rating. Not only that, the rating here is 6 points faster than the next horse, and in this particular case it's 17 points faster. So this is significant. So if the horse is fit and the track conditions are right, then this horse is most likely going to be in the money. And so if we were to look at his Inner Truth's workouts, we can take a look at that by clicking on Inner Truth. And we see that on 8/21, he ran a 5 furlong in 1:04, which is not very fast, but it looks like this is a horse that's being conditioned, because look at this, he has a 3 furlong 5 days later, he has a 4 furlong about 2 weeks later, and then he has a 10-1, that's 3 weeks approximately, and he probably had a race in between because he had a 90 speed rating there. And so up to that 4 furlong 50, which is about average, 51.4. This is approximately right after his last race, and he did an easy work. Then he ran a little faster, and just before this particular race that he's going to be running today, he is breezing a 102.2 for 5 furlongs. So he stretches his legs and is getting ready for his race. So this is a horse that's ready and is conditioned to actually win. So this concludes the actual showing of what you can see in the relative strength here and the ranking. And the ranking information is, as you can see, is given for every race in for a particular track. And in this particular case was Churchill Downs on Wednesday, 16th of November. So you can see this, all this information is given.
This concludes the information that I was going to show you for the handicapping and ranking. It is the first video in a series of videos that are going to help you identify those tracks and racers and horses that you can use with a wagering strategy that we provide in order to come out ahead. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in our next video, which will demonstrate how to actually identify that track that will be most advantageous to you when you are betting. Thank you.